everybody. I'm Kay Adams here with NFL draft guru Josh Norris. Today, we're wrapping up our positional previews, taking a look at the secondary. Let's kick things off with cornerbacks. Coming in at number 2, we have Xavier Rhodes. His draft stock's been on the rise lately, Josh, but being a pure press corner could limit his options. Where do you see him landing?
A lot of people have slotted Xavier Rhodes to number 12 at the Dolphins, and it makes some sense in the fact that they lost Sean Smith to free agency, and they're somewhat of similar prospects in terms of press man corners. But I think the Dolphins are going to run a lot more zone coverage in 2013. And so Xavier Rhodes' landing spot might be number 11 to the San Diego Chargers, maybe number 13 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and maybe even number 17 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to have to find a team that really appreciates his physical nature at the line of scrimmage and someone who rides in the hip pocket of receivers all the way downfield.
At number 5, you have Desmond Trufant out of Washington. How big of a role are the NFL bloodlines going to play in that draft value? He does have 2 cornerbacks for brothers, Marcus and Isaiah Trufant.
You know, it's not going to hurt him, but at the end of the day, you have to evaluate the individual, and there's a lot to like about Trufant, namely his quick feet to mirror at every level of the coverage of the defense. And sure, that's going to be a great aspect when you watch press man corners or just man corners. But to me, it's his physicality. Is he going to be able to tackle someone in space? Is he going to be able to set the edge? Or can he handle physical, bigger-bodied receivers all the way downfield? And that's the big question. But just his quick feet alone will get him in the first round.
Switching over to safeties, you have Kenny Vaccaro out of Texas at the top of your rankings. Now, this is a physical guy who's getting a lot of first-round buzz, thanks in part to his versatility. How high up do you think he can go?
Top 18, top 20 is probably where Kenny Vaccaro is going to go. And he really is the new wave of defenders that can shut down these joker or mismatch receiving targets. We saw him line up against Tavon Austin this year when playing West Virginia, and he did a very good job against a slot receiver with quick movements that can create separation on a dime. And Kenny Vaccaro can also line up against more physical, bigger targets. Now, he does take some poor tackling angles, and he needs to keep in mind that he is the last line of defense. But Kenny Vaccaro is going to be a top 20 pick.
Coming in at number 2, you have Jonathan Cyprien out of FIU. Some might question his talent since he's from a small school, but he dominated there, Josh, leading the Panthers with 93 tackles in 2012. Does he get taken in that first round?
Absolutely, and that's just not a personal bias because Jonathan Cyprien's one of my favorite prospects in this draft, and he played a lot of strong safety and is a physical defender going up and making consistent tackles. But at the Senior Bowl, he was able to show a lot more range, going in and disrupting a lot of the catch points against Mike Glennon, Ryan Nassib, some other quarterbacks. And in that pick number 20 to 26, there's the St. Louis Rams, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Green Bay Packers, and I highly doubt that Jonathan Cyprien makes it out of that draft section.
And I have to ask about Florida safety Matt Elam. A lot of mock drafts have him in the first round, but he didn't make your rankings. What don't you like about him?
There's a lot to like about Matt Elam, and especially his highlight reel tackles, his big play ability. But on a play-by-play basis, I have a lot of questions with Matt Elam, specifically his consistency, going and being physical on the edge, making the tackles that he needs to. And sure, he's got a smaller stature for a strong safety. Can he match up with big tight ends in the short to intermediate levels, or even some receivers? Is he quick enough to match up with them? But just how everyone else perceives Matt Elam, I wouldn't be surprised with the first-round selection.
Josh Norris, good stuff as always. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Again, you can check out Josh's drafts over at rotoworld.com.